we go ahead and work on the warm-up. The warm-up, like I said, it is the review of the test. That will be on Thursday. So there's 7 or 8 sentences. You're going to identify as a sentence written correctly if it's correct. The punctuation, the content is appropriate. Okay, if it's incorrect, we're missing some commas. We're looking at fragmented, incomplete sentences. Okay, so let's go ahead, start with that, get logged in, and go ahead and get that going. So let's go ahead and continue on. Go ahead and make sure you've submitted. Let's look at a couple of these sentences. We're not going to go through them all. Okay, we're not going to go through all of the sentences, but let's go through some of them because this is probably going to be what the test is like. Okay, so let's go through a few of these. Let's just go. Hi. Hey, Mom. You're being, hey.
Hey, bring your Chromebook with you. Oh, that's very smart. Oh, okay, never mind.
Hi, thank you.
Bye, Mom. Thank you.
All right, well, I think we'll be back. We'll see you in a little bit, okay? Okay. So let's look at 1 and 2. Number 1, having requested Dolly to manage the project, the boss, my uncle by first marriage, that is, planning to go home. Is that correct sentence or not? Did you put correct or incorrect for sentence 1?
No, I put incorrect.
Incorrect. What makes it incorrect, Ellie?
Oh, I don't know, it just sounded weird.
What part of it sounds weird?
Because there's like,
Oh, the last
commas
one.
above.
There we go. The last part. Punctuation is right because we're punctuating around who the boss is, and he clarifies the boss, my uncle by first marriage, that is, planning to go home. That is our incorrect sentence right there. We need subject of the verb. Is planning to go home what? So this will be an incorrect sentence. Okay, what about number 2? Correct or incorrect? Advanced students have had sufficient time to train. Yeah, that's a correct sentence, okay? The lights across the bay looking like Christmas decorations out of season. Correct or incorrect? Huh? Incorrect. That's still like there's no verb there. Okay, what is our fragmented sentence in number 9? Although Lance Armstrong got most of the publicity, he was not the only amazing cyclist in 2005 Tour de France. Ivan Basso also had an excellent showing and rode the 2 stage wins in the Giro d'Italia as well. He is a superb cyclist. What is our fragmented sentence here? A, B, C, or D? A. Okay? Because we don't know what. What about him? Alright, so we're not going to spend any more time than that, just reviewing that. But that's what the test, the format that it's going to be in, will look like. Okay? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through, get out your poems from Friday. Get out The Sun Goes Down on summer poem. Okay? If you weren't here, you're going to need one. There's a lot of absences. If you weren't here, let me know.
I don't have the poem. Oh, yeah.
Easy, okay. You weren't here, ready? Okay, anyone else need the poem? You got it? Yes. You need a hammer? Wait, yours is only one-sided? That's the problem. Okay. That must have been an error in front of you. Okay. Alright. So, we're going to go through. On Friday, we read the poem. Okay, we read the poem. Y'all read the poem. And then we went down and we paraphrased each stanza of the poem like the hashtag. Okay, so what we're going to continue doing today is going through the TP cast of this poem. So we did the title, which is a T. We did the C, okay, which is we did the P, the paraphrasing. We're going to now begin with the C, which is the connotations. Okay, so we're going to read the poem again. I'll read it. Follow along, because those of you who weren't here, you've never read the poem. All right, so the sun goes down in summer. I come to the water one last time as the sun goes down on summer. It's going. I can feel it slip away, and it leaves a cold, empty spot. A hole in my warm memories of endless golden days and dreams as ripe as watermelons. I'd give the world to make the summer stay. The water's calm around me. It's a warm, silent sea of thought dyed in the rich blues of night and memory. Why can't things just stay the way they are? Instead, the days rush headlong into change, and I feel like nothing's ever going to be the same. Soon, school will start again, and all the things I thought I'd left behind will come back, and it won't be gentle waters I'll be swimming in. It'll be noise and people and schedules and passes and teachers telling everyone what to do. One more year of homework, tests and grades, of daily popularity contests, and pressure cooker competition, and heaps of frustrations. The first day's the worst, not knowing who your friends are or what's changed since last year, trying to pick up where you left off. I'll look real hard for last year's friends to get me from one scrambled class to another, through halls crawling with people. I wonder if I'll fit in. Football practice started last week. It started without me. I had to make a choice, and football lost. 2 years on the team, and it struck me. Who am I doing this for? It's just another thing people expect you to do, so you do it. School is full of those kinds of things. Things that sap your freedom and keep you from being yourself. That's what I want most, to be myself, but that's hard. Here's what I dread most. When summer goes, I go with it. I go back to school and I change as soon as I walk through those doors. I have to be someone everyone will like. That's the law of survival. What would happen if I stay the real me? Would they turn me off, label me weird? Would I ever get another date? It seems like so much to risk. But growing is a risk. Change is a risk. And who knows? I might discover something of myself in the coming year. I might get closer to the person I am. What a discovery that would be. When the doors open on Monday morning, I'll have a fresh start, a fresh opportunity to find myself. I want to be ready. Steve Lyle. All right, so we have this poem. What's the poem about? We discussed it on Friday. What's this poem about?
A kid who's in summer and he feels like he can't be himself at school.
Okay, so kid who's, the summer's coming to an end and he's realizing he can't be who he wants to be when school starts. Okay, does he want school to start?
No.
Is that how he feels about the entire poem?
No.
Because at some point in the poem, does he have a change in his perception of school? And where's that at, Ellie?
I don't know.
Is it in the middle, beginning, end? At the end, he now starts talking about, okay, you know what? Who knows? I might discover something of myself in the coming year. I might get closer to who I am. What a discovery that would be. And then he ends it with, I want to be ready. So he starts out having this hesitation, this I don't want to go back to school. Okay? And like you guys kind of discussed, I can't be myself. Okay? And we discussed how, some of the lines, and we'll go over those again right now. Some of the lines, there's stress on them, okay? You talked about all the things that he's expected to do during school. Okay, so he has this apprehension about school. All right? And we'll go, we're not going to go super deep with this poem, our first poem in, but just always keep in mind that poems are usually metaphors for something else. They represent something else. So could his view on school also parallel a view he holds to something else? Yeah? Possibly? Okay? It possibly could. Okay, and probably most definitely it could. Okay, and we'll start talking about, what could his view on school, what could it parallel, what other aspect of life could he be talking about? All right, so we're going to go through the poem now. We did, you guys who weren't here on Friday, we went through and we paraphrased each stanza. Okay, so we go through and we talk about the title. What does the title suggest? Okay, And as Caitlin said, maybe, it's a kid who can't be himself at school. Okay, the sun goes down in summer. People said, summer coming to an end. Okay, the last day of summer. So we discussed those things. Okay, we read the poem together. All right. All right, so now we're going to go through, we're going to look for connotation. Okay, so connotation. When we're going through the poem, what words could have another deeper meaning? Okay, so look at the first line. I come to water one last time as the sun goes down in summer. Okay, again, could summer mean more than one thing? Logan? I saw your head bobbing. Could summer mean more than one thing? Okay, so what other things could summer mean?
Emotion.
Okay, maybe like this specific emotion. So as, the summer or your life comes to the end of a specific emotion, okay? Could it be a phase in life? Certainly. All right. And the next line, he says, I feel it, or it's going. I can feel it slip away. Okay. What other meanings can slip have? Slip can mean what? You actually are slipping, right? You slip and fall. But what is he referring to it as? He says, it's going. I can feel it slip away. What's he meaning?
Like his opportunity.
Good. His opportunity, this moment, is going away. Okay? Go down to line 9. It says, instead, the days rush headlong into change. Okay, what does he mean by rush? Okay, I mean waters can rush, right? Waters can rush through and, move over things. We can rush through the hall. So what's he mean there? Instead, the days rush headlong into change. What can he mean by the word rush there?
Like pushing.
Okay, so pushing ahead, continuing on, good. Okay, so the days they're continuing. Okay, I mean they're going. Even though he might want them to stay, they're continuing to go. Okay, look at line 14 and 15. Let's look at 13, 14, and 15. It says, it'll be noise and people and schedules and passes and teachers telling everyone what to do. One more year of homework, tests, and grades, of daily popularity contests, and pressure cooker competition, and heaps of frustration. What word is repeated over and over and over again there? In those 3 lines, 13 to 15. Look at the lines, 13 to 15. What word is repeated again and again and again?
And.
Good. Okay, and. I'm glad that I have one student who is helping me out through this, okay? And, so what should it tell us about how he feels, okay? It'll be noise, and people, and schedules, and teachers, homework, tests, and grades, popularity contests, and competitions, and heaps of frustrations. How does he feel about school? Does he feel like it's just one thing piled on? It's too much. Good, Ellie. He feels like it's too much. We have to do this, and then this. It's like the weight of everything at school is on his shoulders. Okay, so we should begin to see, this, almost agony that he feels, with school. Okay, just the stress and the anxiety that it might even cause. All right, let's look at. Okay, turn it to the back side. Look at line 25. Okay, let's look at the connotation of the word. School is full of those kinds of things that sap your freedom. What do you mean by sap your freedom? Take it. What is it, Ellie? Like blocking it out? Okay, good. Like blocking out your freedom. Okay? And you guys had over here even sucking, taking away your freedom. All right? All right, and then he says, look at line 30. What would happen if I just stayed the same me? Okay, that's kind of, the same. There's not much of a connotation here, but it's a pivotal point because he's starting to question, what if I didn't change and be who someone else wants me to be? Okay, and look at line 35. He says, I might discover something of myself. What does he mean by he might discover? What's he mean by that? The word discover there. I might discover something of myself.
Like how he acts around other people with these actually himself.
Good. So he might realize.
He might find like new traits about him when he's with other people that he didn't know about.
Good. So he might find new things about himself. Good. Okay, and look at the last two lines. He says he wants a fresh opportunity. Okay, when we think of fresh, what does fresh mean? New. Okay, so new opportunities, maybe, trying to think of how I can say it, like a new activity, new life openings for himself. Okay, and he says that he wants to be ready. What does he mean by he wants to be ready?
To go back to school.
Okay, so he wants to be prepared. He wants to, to be at a point to where he is looking forward to doing this on his own. All right, good. So when we connotate, we go through, we're looking at words and we're looking at the deeper meaning. Okay, so not just what they mean, on paper, but what do they mean? All right. Now we're going to go through, we're going to look for some specific examples of, let's look for, take a minute, go through. We want to, what is it when we have imagery in poetry? What is imagery? Okay, like the author creates it like an image, right? We can actually see what's happening. So go through, take a minute, look for examples of imagery within the poem. Look for, there's quite a few. What do they keep telling me about this computer?
So, they said, okay, there's a long line, so there's a lot of people there.
Hold on real quick. Let's start talking about some of the imagery that we find throughout the poem. What are some examples of imagery we find throughout the poem?
I come to the water one last time.
Okay, so what there is imagery here?
Like, I could see him going to the water as the sun was going.
Okay, so you can like literally almost imagine the sun setting behind him. Good. Okay, Ellie.
The water's calm.
Okay, the water's calm. Good. All right, Logan. What was an example of imagery you found?
It's a warm, silent sea of thought died in the rich blue of night and morning.
Good. Okay, because you can almost start to see like, his memories are this warm, silent sea again, kind of that calm. Okay, Caitlin.
So for practice started last week and it started with that. Like, I can imagine him at practice and him not being there.
Okay, good. Okay, so because we're at the high school, so we can imagine football starting and us not being there. Good. Okay, anyone else come up with any? What about...
The teacher's part, it says how the teachers are making the stuff.
Okay, so he talks about like all the ands, right? When he says... Okay, so when he says it'll be noise and people and schedules and passes and teachers, and then it's homework and tests and grades, so you can almost imagine like that busyness of like the school environment, the school setting. Good. Okay. What about okay, so Logan pointed it out, and it's what I want to go over. Okay. It says it's a warm, silent sea of thought. So he's talking about the water's calm around you. So he's talking about literally the water. And so he then says the water is a warm, silent sea of thought, dyed in rich blues and night and memory, of night and memory. What is that called when we make a direct comparison? When we say something is something else. So he's saying the water is a silent sea of thought. Okay, so he's saying that the water is, his thoughts. Huh?
Metaphor.
Yeah. Okay, so we have an example of a metaphor there. All right. What about when he says that the days are as ripe as watermelon? Again, we have a comparison here. He's comparing the days to a watermelon. He's saying days are as ripe as a watermelon. Okay, so what is that when you make a comparison using like or as? Huh? It's similar to a metaphor. Okay, with the simile. Okay, so we've got a simile going on there. Okay? And then what's it when you give human traits to something that's not personification? Do you see an example of personification? Take a minute. Look for an example of personification. Okay? He describes something as having essentially feet, legs. What is he giving personification to? Human traits too, it's not human. Okay, look at the fourth stanza. I'll kind of narrow it down for you guys. Look at the fourth stanza when it says the first day is the worst. And then it ends with people, that one little line that says people. Look in that stanza. Look for an example of personification. Brady, you took your phone away.
Maybe friend gets scrambled to
Okay, Frank gets scrambled.
Paul's crawling.
There we go. So who else was going to say that? Okay, all right, so we all kind of, when I helped you narrow it down, you guys could see the hall's crawling, because halls don't crawl, right? But that gives us a mental image too. You can almost see the hall's jam-packed, okay, crawling with people. All right, very good. All right, let me see. And then one of the things I wanted to point out, and it's just like on line 23, it says, 2 years on the team, it struck me. Who am I doing this for? So he's starting to kind of question, like, why is he living his life? You know, who's important? That reveals his inner conflict. Okay, do I do what I want, or do I do what other people want? So we start to see this conflict that he has in his life as well. All right, who am I doing this for? And then on the back of that same stanza, he says, that's what I want most, to be myself, but that's hard. So again, we have this inner conflict that he's struggling with. Okay, do I do things for others? Do I do things for myself? I want to do things for me, but that's hard. Do you guys find yourself in that same situation sometimes?